Yes. Here we go.
15 seconds.
Derek, come on.
Hello, Steve. Do we need to socially distance here? No, Mac. Okay, there we go.
No.
Right.
Anyway,
Uh,
this young man next to me in the other square, he's called Derek Herbert. He's entertainer. He does all sorts, but I'll let Derek kind of like talk to you in a minute. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching the show this afternoon. And also, please watch out for some tomorrow also. In the meantime, Derek, hello, Derek, how are you?
hello, Steve. I'm fine. How are you? And how are you
I'm
coping with
okay.
all what's going on? Are you all right?
I'm all right, yes.
Good.
How you been coping with all the COVID and everything?
Well, we've had lots of gigs cancelled, but you have to remain optimistic. We've been doing a fair bit online and preparing a lot for next year. Have done one or two shows, social distance, but so I mean, it's very disappointing. I hope you've got to remain optimistic, haven't you? You've got to
Oh
be
yeah, of course
positive
you have. Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
get through all this. Lots of work coming in for next year, which is
Good, good,
brilliant. Which is brilliant.
good, good. Tell everybody what you do and kind of,
Okay, I'm my name. Hello, everybody out there. My name is Derek Herbert. I entertain variety. Do some comedy, play instruments, sing. I impersonate, do some live talks on Tommy Cooper, George Formby, and Winston Churchill, amongst other things. But I like to keep people in this day and age, keep people happy, and that's what it's about. And keep the name of George Formby. I love George Formby, as a lot of other people do. It's the man with the ukulele. If people don't remember, it's the man with the ukulele. George Formby was very popular in the 1930s, 1940s, and 50s. So I play the instrument, I do a life story, or I entertain and do lots of songs. But I like to do a lot of audience participation, a little bit of comedy, a bit of fun with people. That's what it's all about. When you're entertaining, people like to feel relaxed and have a bit of fun. And that's what it's all about. Life is too short to be miserable, isn't it, Steve?
oh yeah, yeah. You got to have a laugh, ain't you?
Of course, you've got to have a laugh. And that's what it is. And even in these trying times, you've got to have a laugh. Would you like to
Yeah,
know? Would you like to know a little bit about George Formby and his life?
yeah, yeah. Come on, yeah. I tell
Right,
you what. While we're
go on.
waiting for that, let's
Right,
watch a video of George himself.
go on. Yep,
Yeah, okay.
is it coming up now? Yep, there we go.
Yeah, it's all technology. This.
Oh, wonderful technology.
Yeah,
Where are we?
When the cleaning to earn an honest bob. For a nosy Parker, it's an interesting job. Now it's a job that just suits me. A window cleaner you would be if you can see what I can see. When I'm cleaning windows, honeymooning couples too. You should see them villain too. You'd be surprised at things they do. When I'm cleaning windows, in my profession I work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. The blushing bride, she looks divine. The bridegroom, he is doing fine. I'd rather have his job than mine. When I'm cleaning windows, there's a famous talky queen. She looks a flapper on the screen. She's more like 80 than 18. When I'm cleaning windows, she pulls her hair all down behind, then pulls down her never mind, and after that pulls down the blind. When I'm cleaning windows, in my profession I work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. I know maid walks around the floor, she's so fed up one day I'm sure she'll drag me in and lock the door. When I'm feeling winter, da dee da dee dee da dee dee da dee dee da dee da 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 dee da dee da da dee 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 da dee dee da dee da dee dee da dee da da dee da 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 dee dee da dee da dee
There you go.
There we go. The great George Formby. I don't
Yeah,
profess to look like him, but I try to sound like him. And George there was playing a wooden uke like this. The wooden uke. Can you see that? Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
can we see that? Yeah.
yeah. We
But
can.
he's more famous for playing what you call the banjo uke. Here. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Can we
we
all-
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right. And so yeah. Carry on. What else would you like to ask me? And I'll talk to you about it.
yeah, yeah. I was just about to say, can you play anything for us?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Do you want to tell a little bit about Formby first, Mr.
Yeah,
Formby?
sure. Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, George, I'll tell you what. George Formby um, was born in 1904, and his father was equally famous, George Formby Senior. I don't know if you've heard of him. Now, George Formby's father died at age 45 because he had TB, and he used to have an oxygen tank by the stage, and his wife was there, used to give him some oxygen, but he died. And when young George was sent away to train as a jockey, his son at 4 years of age, because
Oh,
his
yeah.
father his father did not want him to go into showbiz, but he kept escaping and coming back and everything. So when his father died, George's mum wanted him to follow in his father's footsteps. So what he did, he dressed George up in his father's garb, all his outfit, and sent him out and knew some of the contacts. First one was in Argyle Theatre in Birkenhead, but he went down terribly. It was awful, and but kept persevering, and particularly in one particular show, a lady was in the audience called Beryl Ingham, and she was with a friend, and they used to have an act called the Two Violets. And Beryl Ingham was a clog dancer, and she saw George, and George they met, and they courted for a while, and they got married. And Beryl could see a lot of talent in George, and said, "Now look, George, I want you to be, a good entertainer." And when we were working on the act, he was in a dressing room one, and a gentleman was playing a ukulele banjo, and George bought it off him and started to play it. And for a bet, he brought it into his act and sang "Going Back to Alabama" or something, a song, and it went down
Mm.
really well. So Beryl said, "Now look, George, I want you to learn to play that instrument. You've got something here." So she learned to play the instrument, and she said to him, "I don't want you just to strum on it. I want you to learn to play it properly." Now George had a particular style all of his own, which I'll show you. This is basically. First of all, let me explain to you. This is a wooden uke. George played the wooden uke in that film you've just seen there, and
Mm.
they were invented first of all by the Portuguese, who brought it over to the Hawaiian Islands, and that came very popular. It's a wonderful little instrument, and it's very popular in schools now. The wooden uke. Now, but George Formby was very famous for basically, just put that there, for the banjo uke.
Mm.
Now, the banjo uke is a cross between a wooden uke and a banjo. Basically, what it is, it's as you can see the instrument. That's the arm. They're the frets, which you play your chords on. They're the tuning pegs, strings, and there's a bridge here. Now, when you strum it, the sound goes from the bridge through the vellum into the resonator. It resonates the sound. But George Formby, he had a style of his own called what he called splitting the stroke. So instead of just strumming it, he used to went down with his nail on all the strings, caught the bottom two coming up, and the top two going down, and had a finger lift with a sound like this. And basically that's what he done. And there was it brought in the thumb and a fan roll and things like this. And Beryl became his manager, and she pursued all sorts of agents, and she managed to get him a booking. And they developed this act, and she made sure that he would look very smart on stage. And she did all the contracts. She said, "You go out there, don't argue with anybody. I'll do all the arguing for you." She was a hard businesswoman, and she got him out there. And the first hit recording he had was called Mr. Wu, a Chinese laundry blues. And George used to wear a little trilby like this. I put it on. He turned out nice again, and that's what he used to do. His style was to be the gormless man. Now, he was in some respects, but that's the persona he had. And his first big hit was Chinese Laundry Blues, and it went something like this. Now, Mr. Wu was a laundryman with a shop with an open door. He dined all day, you're linging away, he rarely makes you sore. He's lost his heart to a Chinese girl, the laundry's all gone wrong. All day he'll flirt and scorch his shirt, why I'm singing this song, oh Mr. Wu. What shall I do? I'm feeling kind of like my Chinese laundry blue. This funny feeling keeps round me stealing. Why don't you throw your sweetheart overdue? My vest's so short that it won't fit my little brother. My new Sunday shirt has got a perforated rudder. Mr. Wu, what shall I do? I'm feeling kind of like my Chinese laundry blue. That's a little taster, and that was his first big hit, Chinese Laundry Blues.
Well done.
Now, the instruments have become very popular with the George Formby Society, and I'm a member of the George Formby Society, which meet in Blackpool 4 times a year, COVID permitting, and in the Imperial Hotel. But I can't make 4 times a year because I'm a professional entertainer, and but we try and get there when we can. And there's little kids now like that learning to play the uke, and it's a wonderful instrument. Now his songs should be played more on the radio, but they're not, because during the war, George Formby lifted spirits. Okay, lifted people's spirits during the war, and he was the man into everybody's home. But people loved him. When he became very popular, there was always sold out signs wherever he went. Now Beryl pursued him, and I thought, well, now George, I think we should have a go at some films. So she managed to get a hold of a producer and said, look, can we make a film? And okay, right. So the first film was made above a garage in Albany Street in London, and it was called Boots.
No.
The lighting was terrible, the sounding was terrible, but however, there were queues around to see it. This is basically in the northern area, and a film producer saw, oh yeah, we got something here. So eventually, to cut a long story short, he ended up making 21 films.
Gosh.
For Columbia Pictures, and he was one of the highest paid entertainers. In fact, we would say in 1939 he was earning about £100,000 a year. In 1939. Now, I also entertained during the war for ENSA. Everyone knows what ENSA stands for? Entertainment's National Service Agency. Not every night something awful, as everybody said. But George Formby entertained over 3 million Allied troops during the war. And him and Beryl didn't had no luxury with him. He stayed in tents amongst all the soldiers. And he would... if he found out that lonely sentries miles away from anywhere had not had any entertainment, they'd go off in a wagon, drop the tailboard at the back, and sit there and give them an hour's show just to boost the morale. In fact, in one particular instance, there was clapping. They could hear clapping at 200 yards away. It was a German trench. They'd heard George Formby, and they were clapping at George Formby in a German trench 200 yards away. But lifted morale during the war, and he did a lot of broadcasts, did lots for charity to raise money for during the war. And George Formby upset some fellow entertainers a little bit, because he said more of them should go out there, not want all this luxury. Go out there. These lads are giving their lives for our freedom, and we must entertain them. And he went out, all in desert everywhere. First to be out there in France, and one of the last to come out before the evacuation of Dunkirk. And that's how he was, George. And he was born on the 26th of May 1904 in Westminster Street in Wigan. His name was George Hoy Booth. And of course, the name Formby was George. His father sourced that name, George after George Roby, and Formby after a goods train passed with the name Formby on it, and that's how he got the name George Formby. And so George became a big hit, and of course, he died at 56. He did eat a bit and smoked quite a bit, I'm afraid, in those days. But he was born blind. Young George Formby was born blind, had what you call a caul over his eyes. But he was with his mum when he was a young lad, travelling across a ferry to New Brighton, and a gust of wind knocked him over, and his eyes opened, and there again he could see after that. But he was very short-sighted, couldn't read music. George could not read music. He used to have all his instruments tuned in different keys on the stage, and occasionally he would pick up the wrong one, like I do sometimes. But it didn't matter. People loved him, and that's what it's all about. You've got an entertainer's got to get across to the audience. As Ken Dodd would say, you've got to build a bridge to them. You only have a few seconds to build this bridge, and you've got to get the audience on your side. Sometimes you have tougher times, and sometimes, but hopefully most times it's a lot better. But I've also made a CD of Formby songs and sing along stuff. I don't just play Formby; I do sing along old time medleys.
Yeah.
But as I say, George, he was very popular and made over 250 records. Some of them he wrote himself, and he used to do. You could ride motorbikes as well. He used to love tinkling with motorbikes and watches. He would repair watches in his dressing room, and for entertainers, and charge them for doing that as well. But he couldn't read or write. He couldn't read or write very much. He was quite. His education wasn't that good. But Beryl, his wife, was the one who made him. Without Beryl, he wouldn't have got there. He did. Yeah. She was the one. And they used to have a little signal between them when they were out and about as a guests or opening things. She would go to George and pull on his ear, and then the time to go, George, drag him off and things, because everybody wanted to be with George, didn't they? And he wanted to get away, but she was getting him away. And they used to have a boat on the Norfolk Broads. They used to go there, but he always had time for people. George, he was you could approach him. But he died age 56. He on 1960 was his last television appearance, because he made the films and then moved into television quite well. But in 1960, he sat there on Christmas. I think it was about just before Christmas Eve, and told his life story for half an hour live. It was live, wasn't pre-recorded. And Beryl was at home in Lytham St Anne's, where they lived, and she was dying. She was dying because she had leukemia, and she dressed up to the ninepins to watch him. And he told his life story and all, and everything else, and how Beryl helped him and played a few of his songs, very popular. But he was in pantomime in Bristol, and he got the call that she died. Well, she was very ill, and he drove over there, but she died. Now, when Beryl had died, George was completely lost without her. He didn't know what to do, but he used to love his Rolls Royces. They used to change the Rolls Royces every year. It was GF1 or GF2 Now he got quite friendly with the garage owner, where he bought his Rolls Royce, and he went there once for dinner, and there was this young lady there called Pat Howson, because it was Howson's who were the dealers, and he asked her out. This was after Beryl had died. Asked her out for a drive round, and she liked it. He was about 20 years older than I think then, and they within 3 months of Beryl's death, he got engaged to her. Now a lot of people, really were snidey about that because he didn't. They thought it was a bit why, but he was lonely. He needed somebody, and they had an interview on television. He said, I need somebody to look after me." But he was having a meal at their house one night. And he had another heart attack, and this is when he was about 55, 56. I was in Warrington Hospital, and anyway, they was getting better, and she went round to see him. They'd just bought a house together. They were going to get married, and he suddenly had a heart attack while she was there and died.
Oh no.
Very sad. Now, he left everything to her, Pat Howson, the school teacher, in his will. None to his family, but they challenged the will. I don't even remember that, but there was a big hoo-ha about his will.
Yeah.
It went to court, but they auctioned all his articles off, all his ukulele off at his house in Lytham St Anne's, and there was queues for a mile long. And you know what? It was a debacle. It was just awful. They just were picking his soil laundry up and all. It was just left as it was when he had hospital. But all his ukuleles were out for display, and they were all sold at auction. Some people at George Formby have got them. I know a friend who's got one of his. One's just been sold now, one of George Formby's, for 72,000 quid. 72,000. He used in his films. Now, he was, he's still popular today. People still love his music because it's happy. But he was buried in Warrington Cemetery along with his father. And the George Formby Society, they pay towards the upkeep of the cemetery because there aren't many of Formby's family left there now. And I had the pleasure of meeting his sister 20 years ago at the other George Formby exhibition at Warrington Museum. That was one. Alan Randall was there. Do you remember Alan Randall?
Yeah.
He's passed on now, but he was there. And that was good. And all his ukes were out on display. His prize motorcycle. All his films were played and whatever he had, and it was wonderful. George's brother used to come to the George Formby Society before he passed on, and his sister. So his name is kept alive within George Formby, and there are a few, and I'm not the only one that does it. There are a few that do Formby stuff, thank goodness, and we all keep his name alive because his music is happy. Yeah. It's happy, and the sound of the banjolele is a happy sound. I've got 10 of them, and all tuned in different keys. I do C, D tuning or G, and so when I use about an hour's show on one stage of all-time stuff, bit of audience participation, and play the ukes. I have them laid out on the stage, and I have backing tracks. Of course, when George was there, he had the best of orchestras, of course, and when he went on tour, he used to take a piano with him in the back of a wagon. How it would remain tuned, I don't know, but he did, and I don't know how his fingernails stood up to it because they do wear down with the playing, but that's the way it was. George Formby is buried in the cemetery in Warrington, and we've got a beautiful plaque there for him. And outside the house he lived in Lytham St Anne's. So that's his life story, briefly. And I hope that.
Thank you very much for that. I've got people want to answer questions here. They're all packed out here tonight.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Sorry. Wayne is saying good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, hi, Stephen Day. Hello, Paul. Hello.
There you go.
How are you, Paul? All right.
Formby legend.
He is a legend. You're absolutely right. And I hope I do my impersonation help does him justice.
Yes.
Crossroad podcast. Right. Fox's Entertainment. Fox's Entertainment. Who's Fox's Entertainment? Great guy. Where's Fox's Entertainment? Oh, is that entertainment?
I'll talk to you about that in a minute.
Okay, right. Who else? Who's the questions? Right.
I play ukulele.
Yes, right. Do you play the ukulele? What type of ukulele? Is the lady hear me?
Yeah.
What type of ukulele do you have? A soprano, or is it what type of what make it? A small one, big one, or
They'll come back in a minute with a question.
oh, okay.
Um,
Evening, Derek. How are you? How long have you been doing this? Atomic is one of the best comedy films. I get that song when I'm cleaning windows because when my window cleaner used to come, I used to play the song all the time. Quite right. Quite. Yeah, it is. I'll tell you now. The words of George Formby's songs are very clever, and it leaves a lot for the imagination.
yeah,
When I'm cleaning windows, when it first was banned by the BBC,
it
because
was.
the BBC said the words were too risque. Now then, George Formby was very popular with the King and Queen at the time, and he used to do private shows for them. And the Queen Mother asked for the uncut version of When I'm Cleaning Windows, and he played it. And the BBC got to know about it and lifted the ban, and it became a huge hit. So there's really three songs that's famous for Formby: Chinese Laundry Blues, When I'm Cleaning Windows, and Leaning on a Lamppost. And I did say, at first I thought you was one about Fry. Right, okay. There we
Yeah.
go. But hi Steve, I share. Right, okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Did,
Did George win any awards? Yes, he had the OBE for his services to entertainment. The OBE. I think he should have been 90, but he was OBE. He just got the OBE.
yeah.
I met a ukulele band. Well done. Right. Are you the lady who plays the ukulele? She plays on her own. Is she part of? Part of a band?
Yeah, she's part of a band. Yeah.
Oh, right. And whereabouts are they based?
Yeah, they're getting contact with me again in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Will you sing When I'm Cleaning Windows? I will. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, go on, go on.
All right, here we go. Now, this here is tuned in the key of C to suit your voice for different songs. That's mine. That doesn't get my way. There we go. Where we go. When I'm cleaning windows without any backing. Now I go window cleaning to earn an honest bob. For a nosy Parker, it's an interesting job. It's a job that just suits me. A window cleaner you would be. You can see what I can see when I'm cleaning windows. Honeymooning couples too, you should see them bill and coo. You'd be surprised at things they do when I'm cleaning windows. In my profession I work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. The blushing bride, she looks divine. The bridegroom, he is doing fine. I'd rather have this job than mine. When I'm cleaning windows, old soldiers never die, they say. Oh, I don't want to pass away. I kick the bucket every day. When I'm cleaning windows, in my profession I work hard, but I'll never stop. I'll climb this blinking ladder till I get right to the top. Pajamas lying side by side, ladies' nighties I have spied, often seen what goes inside when I'm cleaning windows. When I'm cleaning windows. Okay.
Well done. Well
There we
done.
go.
What else we got here? Hi there. Stephen said hi there.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Stephen.
Yeah. Hi, Stephen, Derek. How are you guys been? I'm okay, thank you. Yeah.
We're all right, thank you. Yeah, nice to hear from you.
I am the owner of Fox Entertainment Agency, Catherine. Yeah.
All right, Catherine is the owner of Fox's Entertainment Agency, right? Perhaps we can do some work together.
Well, you never know, see.
All right. Perhaps
You never knew who's watching, see.
No, never know. We'll drop you a line, can we? And I'll give you my mobile 07802 805 701. 07802 805 701.
Yes. And what we'll do, I'll pass it on to you later on.
Right. Okay. Fine.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Right. So
Right,
yeah.
let's get through these questions
Right. Go on.
because there's loads.
Carry on.
It's very popular. You are. Brilliant, brilliant. See, there you go.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. That's very nice.
Lily James. All right, sorry, I'm late. So yeah.
You're late.
Okay, Lily. My uncle Billy sings it.
Oh, great. Does he play the ukulele as well?
Well, there you go. Come back with that question answer. Hi, Steve. Yeah. We got loads here.
Carry on. No problem.
We're going to be here all night.
Well, if you want to be all night, we'll be all night.
Tell the wife to put the kettle on.
Thank
Derek, that is brilliant.
you very much, Stephen.
There you go.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Well, I don't know what you're saying there. Right.
I don't know what that is. No. Okay.
I think that's his autograph.
Where are we? Okay.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
You don't play the. Yeah.
As long as he sings the words, that's all that matters. And enjoys it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a question here for you.
Right.
On my emails, it says, "Hello, Derek. Well done. Thank you very much for coming on Stephen's show. Have you ever met anybody famous?"
Yes. Sir Norman Wisdom and Ken Dodd.
There you go.
Ken Dodd, yes, I've mixed with some stars. I've done some shows with stars, but Sir Norman Wisdom was lovely. Ken Dodd, bless him, he's gone now. But Ken Dodd did a show for me to raise money for prostate cancer. Wonderful man, absolutely wonderful. So there are a lot of people out there who do a lot for charity, and people don't realise that because it's not spread about. They keep it quiet. I've done a lot for charity. I think it's very important to do things to help people because we're all on this earth together, and I think to help people is very important.
Oh yeah.
You've got to be careful you don't take too much charity, otherwise you wouldn't be able to earn a living yourself. But there we go. If we can, we will do, and that's what it's all about.
All right, Derek, are you the man who dresses up as Winston Churchill? He does.
I am.
That'll be on another show.
Another show. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk about Winston Churchill as well next time I'm on. I'll come dressed up as Winston Churchill then. Yes, because I'm a trained actor. I'm an actor as well, entertaining musician. I love variety. There's not enough, as far as I'm concerned, not enough variety on the television or radio. I don't know. Some of the singing today, a lot to be desired. It's too much in your face. They don't hear much about Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole, wonderful singers. You could hear every word. A song should have good lyrics, good music, and you should be able to have a good singer. You should be able to do it every word, and it should tell a story.
Yes, totally agree.
That's what it is.
Agree.
I'd like to see a proper talent show on television. No judges, no audience,
no X Factor, no Britain's Got Talent.
No. Where entertainers go on, have 5 or 10 minutes to show their act, and if agents in the audience, fine. But that's what a proper talent show should be.
Yeah.
Hello, Jacqueline. Yes. What another song? A little bit before we finish, we'll do another one, shall we? When we finish. Yeah. All right. Yes.
Derek, can you sing any song?
Any song? Well, when you say any song, I can do medleys and things on the uke and any song, particular song. But yes, not any song.
He's very talented.
Within reason, yes.
Oh, that's blankety blank. So let's go back to the questions. What's the most embarrassing moment that you've had?
Most embarrassing moment?
Yes. On stage.
On stage, yeah, right. Right, okay. Well, one other thing. Sometimes strings can break on you. So when you're playing, string breaks or 2 string. I'm always trying to rotate my ukes because that can happen. And then sometimes also the vellum can go on the uke. The vellum here. This vellum here. That's that can break for no other reason. You have to keep them out. You have to keep them. You have to keep them away from hot weather in a car. You have to cover them over. They can break on you. So, yeah, and also I suppose tripping over wires and things like that, or the microphone goes off. I've had that happen to me. You've got to and just play to the audio. You've not got to panic. You've just got to take a deep breath and get on with it. And that's what people love a good sing along. And I like
Yeah.
community singing and things like this.
Oh, totally.
Warm the audience. I warm the audience with songs like Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow wow and Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer to. And we sing medleys, George Foreman medleys. And my dog, and tuning a uke, by the way, there's a way to tune this uke. And it's called My Dog Has Fleas. And My Dog Has Fleas. And it's a way. And I get the audience to join in when I'm doing the tuning of the uke because that helps you to tune it. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
My dog has fleas. But yeah, I've had.
We got some more here. I want to get through them.
Go on, carry on.
You're keeping me up all night.
Go on.
Hang on. No. Hang on. Can you sing it? No, hang on for a second. Yeah, can you sing any song? Hang on. Just trying to load them up here. Let's get to my emails. Have you ever met Cliff Richard?
No, I haven't. But I would like. I think he's a very natural man, very nice fellow, and he did not deserve the adverse publicity he got. That wasn't very nice. Police raiding his house and things, but I won't go into that. But that was,
Yeah.
Do
you know Penny Arcade?
I don't know Penny Arcade. I'm very sorry, but it's one it's put on my list to learn. Thank you for that. It's a nice one. That I do know quite a few, but that's one I don't know. Because when you're playing the wooden uke, it's a different sound to when you're playing the banjo uke as well.
Yeah.
So Jacqueline, I'll make my PA and make a note of this now. Penny Arcade, it's a nice one.
Yes. Pauline says, have you ever been in any films?
Yes. I'm in a film as Winston Churchill called Lawrence After Arabia. It was filmed last year and it was due for release this year. But with the virus, it's been postponed. I'm playing the part of Winston Churchill in the film. Half an hour, I've got a speaking role in it, and it's a very good film. It's won all awards up to now, and it hasn't been released yet. But the premiere is due for March the 5th next year in Dorset, and then it's going to be released around the cinemas. Called Lawrence After Arabia. I'll tell you briefly. It's about, if anybody saw the film Lawrence of Arabia with Peter O'Toole, this follows one after it. After how he died on his motorcycle when he was a little boy, and he was quite friendly with Winston Churchill. But I'll tell you more about that when I come on as Winston Churchill.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, okay, here we go again. What we got? I met him. He was a TV weekend. Sad about him. I was talking about Cliff Richard.
Yeah, you're quite right. Right.
Derek,
my dog is made. Baby, the biscuits will help. Yes, it can get biscuits and help kill fleas. That's right. I hope there's no fleas.
Maria makes them, and what we do, I'll tell you what I do. If Maria makes the biscuits, I buy them off her, and we go down the cycle track on my scooter and give them out to the community for free of charge.
That's brilliant. That's
what we do. Yeah,
that's wonderful. Well done, Maria. Well done, Maria. Well done.
Yeah, there you go. Blankety blank here. No, let's go to Clive. Clive says, where is it to? Clive says, is ukuleles expensive?
Right. That's a good question, Clive. You can pay anything. Well, I told you one of George Foreman's that was just sold for £72,000. But however, you can, if I always say to people, if you're learning to play the wooden uke or the ukulele banjo, buy a cheap one first, which you can get, I don't know, you can buy a wooden uke like this, 30 quid, 25,000, cheap one, not a very good sound, but the fret's the same, the fretboard's the same. And then learn a few chords and join a class. Now, it's very popular in schools now. It's replaced that blooming awful recorder. Remember, you used to school.
Oh,
The wooden uke is now very popular. It went out of fashion once, but it's very popular. And I've only ever seen the ukulele orchestra Great Britain. They're brilliant and they're lovely. They're great players. But, I don't profess to be the world's greatest player, but I play it and people enjoy it, and that's what matters. But I think it's your whole persona that's important, the way you put things across. There's no use being the world's greatest musician if you've got no personality, is it?
no, that's it. Lisa says, have you ever done pantomime?
Yes, I have. I played the Dame 3 times. Yes, in pantomime. Yes, I have actually. Great fun. Hard work, It's hard work. But yes, I have.
Good, good, good. In the film that you just made, was there any top stars in there?
Who was the lead in the film Lance after? What's his name? Tom Bob and the guy plays Hugh Fraser.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Tom Barber Duffy is playing the lead of Lawrence, but Hugh Fraser from Poirot,
Yeah, yeah.
he's in the film. Brian Cox, his wife's in the film. Brian Cox, and Brian Cox is doing some narration. So it is, and it's good. It's a lowish budget film, but I tell you what, it's good. It was filmed. I enjoyed it. Linda here, my wife, helped me learn the lines, and we went down there. So I'm in three or four scenes, but I'm not going to give it away. But it's really good. And the film, look out for it. Lawrence after Arabia. It'll be put out on Facebook anyway. But go and see it. It's got some really good reviews now.
Yeah, very good. Both. Derek, can you sing another song?
Yes, I will. Before we go, we'll just do with the question, shall we?
Yeah, I've got number 10 to do. Right, here we go. Okay. Have you ever met Tommy Cooper?
No, I haven't. No, no, but I've been when one of his last appearances. Yes, in theatre, I've seen him, but when latterly he wasn't too well. He only did about half an hour. The trouble with Tommy, he was a brilliant entertainer, but the drink got the worst of him.
Yeah,
it was terrible. I mean, it was just.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I saw him in Torquay once, and he was at the bar after the show and everything, and it was not good. Sorry, there's everything as well. What does your wife think of you playing the ukulele? You probably make her mad.
Yes. But you see, you've got to make sure you marry the right one who knows what you're doing. I mean, the type of thing that you do, entertaining. Yes, sometimes when you're learning something, you do a lot of repetition. And yes, it can. But you have a separate room. I've got an operations room, and I've got memorabilia in there, so I shut myself away, which I have this afternoon. I practice most days. You've got to keep yourself up to scratch. That's important.
Yeah.
But I do have CDs for sale. There's £6.50, I think, and some for me and sing along stuff on. And some of that money goes to charity, cancer research.
Good. I'm going to get some up here. What was it? Sorry, Chris says.
Yeah.
Where are you playing to next? What's your next gig, if there are any at the moment?
Oh, I've got a few, and they're not too far away. Actually, I've got some in Wales, but that's in complete lockdown. So we've got I can't. It's only I don't. I've got things lined up, but I don't know. They've all been falling like 9 pins this year.
Yeah,
and, I try not to worry about it because we do other things. We're working. We've done lots of stuff online. We did a VE show online.
I saw that. Yeah,
online, and we've done other shows as well. So next year is coming. It looks as though it's good. The challenge is we've got, of course, that there's billions of pounds being spent here, and some theatres may not open, and some venues may not open. Hotels I've been to, and some people may not be there you've dealt with. I don't really know, but yes, it looks promising for next year. We can only hope. But I've got some good provisionally some good bookings for next year. I do holiday camps and things like this, and Warner's, Warner Breaks.
Yeah, yeah.
I've entertained at Warner Breaks, but we'd have to see. I don't know. Hopefully, yes. I've done some TV work in the past as well, but I just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. It's Yvonne. Hang on for a second. Hi, my lovely best friend.
Is that to me or you?
I don't know. I think it's to you.
Oh, hello, Yvonne. Hello,
Yeah,
hello, Yvonne. Yes, nice to see
yeah.
you. Hello, Yvonne.
Do you know
Hope,
her?
hope you're enjoying. Hope you're enjoying the chit chat, Yvonne. Jacqueline. Hello,
You're,
Jacqueline.
you're mine.
Oh, okay.
She had invited more use. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what else we got here?
Keep them coming. I don't mind. I'm all right.
You don't mind, right? Okay. Let's get on here. Have you ever made any records?
Not record, but CDs. I've got CDs. I've got.
Yes. And we'll put it all online for you. I'll stick it
Yeah.
on my website, everything afterwards.
Okay.
We'll make sure we do all that.
Okay.
I'll show you. I'm sure I saw a program about you a while about. What was it? Sorry, I can't read the writing here. I saw something about you the other day when you were dressed up as Winston Churchill. Can you dress up sometime? Yes,
Yeah,
we will ask him to come back and do that.
we will do, and I'll do
Yeah,
some of the famous speeches as well.
yes.
That's very important to get into the character and do it as best you can. I'm not a clone of George Formby. I'm not a clone of Winston Churchill, but I've been told I'm one of the best. But I do the voice. It's very important to do the voice of Winston Churchill, not just. And the speeches I do, I put them to memory rather than read them. And the RAF camps, Battle of Britain dinners, we've been to some lovely events. But I'll tell you all about that when I see you as Winston.
Yeah. Have you ever met the Queen?
Yes, I'm Prince Philip. I have met them actually. They're very nice. And I have worked with a lookalike Queen as well. But yes, I've met them both. Thank you. Yes, I have. Very nice. I was very privileged.
Good. Have you ever done anything on the Royal Variety performance?
No, I haven't. I'd love to, but I haven't. But there we go. And you never know, do you? I'll give you a wave if I do.
Have you ever met Morecambe and Wise?
No, I never met Morecambe and Wise. I'd love to have met Morecambe, but I didn't meet them.
No, there you go. What do you think about the Michael Barrymore scenario? Let's not talk about that at the moment. Let's just leave that, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. What else is it? We've got another one here. Not too bad about Lolly Guest, aren't you? How you big shock. Do you know Lolly Guest?
Not very well.
Yeah, she's a singer and she died.
When? Just now? Recently?
No, a few days ago.
I know faces more than names.
Yeah. She died a few days ago,
Very
which
sad.
is a shame. Yeah, very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Do I travel a lot?
Yeah. Do you travel a lot?
Yes, we do. We stay in travel lodges a lot. Not plush hotel, travel lodges, and Premier Inns because you can arrive late. We often do. And if we've been on a gig, if we're doing a gig next day in the midday or the afternoon, we try and stay overnight before if it's more than 3 or 4 hours drive because of traffic. I mean, I did a show a few weeks, where are we now? 6 months. Time go quick. In Staffordshire, which is just only should take me about an hour and a half. It took me 3 hours. Only just arrived in time. It was a talk. I do after dinner talks to ladies groups. Talk to ladies groups about Formby and about Churchill, Tommy Cooper. All after dinner talk, anything like that, and they love it, as well as playing the music. Not just talk about. You must bring it to life with the music and the ukulele.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Also, it says, what's the worst theatre that you ever been to?
The worst theatre.
Come on.
Well, I don't think I should. I don't think I should say that in case people are listening about that. But there's good and bad everywhere. The theatres are better now than what the changing facilities are better now than what they were. But yeah, I do a lot of hotels and not as many theatres I'd like. I did the Leeds Variety Theatre a few months ago. Well, that was 6 months now, whatever since. Yes, that was a lovely theatre, lovely stage, no microphones, you have to put out your voice. So yeah, that's great. And that was a nice little theatre. Some of them they're improving now. God knows what's going to happen after this virus. I don't know.
I know. It's a shame, isn't it? It's really a
It's
shame.
terrible. I don't know what's. I don't know. I mean, where it's all going to end. I mean, until they have a vaccination, I don't think it will. But we've all got to get on with it. I can see a time, the way it's going on, they will all wear masks and visors walking around outside everywhere, because I don't know. There's different aspects of it all. I don't really know. But we've got to get through it. We've been through worse than this during the war. I wasn't around, but the war was worse.
No, I wasn't around, so yeah.
No, people had their homes blown to pieces, and people and carried on just the same.
Yeah, I spoke to her a few days ago.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Sorry about
that. He's a lovely, friendly guy. They said that you're a very friendly guy.
I am. I like to be friendly. What's the point of being otherwise? I don't like people who are not friendly.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of not being friendly with people? Only on this earth for once. You might as well be friendly with people and make people as happy as you can. That's what I say.
That's it. You've got to make people happy.
That's right.
Yeah, you've got to make people happy. On your travels, have you ever been to any hotels where you didn't want to stay at?
Yes, we have. Yeah, wasn't very good. In fact, we left. It was a bed and breakfast really, and it was a bit. We left a bit early and went and found a travel lodge, but a hotel. Yeah, hotels were. Yeah, we couldn't wait to get away. Yeah, there are. I won't say where it is, but I don't know how they get through with the health and hygiene. We wouldn't eat there, and I said, I hope we don't get a bug here when going on stage. That's the thing you got to watch out for: keeping yourself healthy, not have a bug before you go on stage.
Have you done anything in Blackpool on stage?
Yes, Blackpool, the Opera House in Blackpool. Done a show in the Opera House in Blackpool, and also hotels. Imperial Hotel and other hotels on the front. Yeah.
There you go.
The Opera House is a lovely theatre.
I've never been to the Opera House.
Fantastic. One of the best stages I've been on, the Empire in Liverpool. Nearly 3,000 people there. That's fantastic. But that's another story, because I've been in musicals as well. You see, I've trained my voice trained when I was younger.
Yes, I was just about to come to that, about the musicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go on, tell everybody quick about your musicals, what you've been in.
In South Pacific. I've been in one of my favorites is Guys and Dolls. I love Guys and Dolls. I was Nicely Nice in Johnson singing Sit Down, You're Rocking a Boat. Sit Down, You're Rocking a Boat. A lovely theatre, packed audiences, and that was great. That's a lovely show. I've done that 4 times. I've been Perchick the Student and Fiddler on the Roof. South Pacific, Mr. Snow, and I've been there. South Pacific, I was in South Pacific as well. So there you go. A lot of various shows and things in the past. Have you ever met Jimmy Cricket? I have, actually, yes. Nice guy.
Mm.
Is George popular in the Far East? Now, I'll tell you something. During the war, George Foreman was very popular all over the place, and in Russia, his films, and in Russia was very popular in Russia. He got awarded. Yeah, in Russia. Russia. Yeah, I'm telling you, and Canada, New Zealand, and various places. And I'll tell you, George Foreman, when he went to South Africa, he was thrown out the country where apartheid was on, because he didn't like apartheid, and they said you can't play to coloured audience. He said, I'm here to play to all people, so they threw him out. Then there you go. Mm-hmm. Being there to Blackpool, seeing Daniel, right? Daniel who?
Don't know, probably.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Last two questions, and
Carry on.
I'm going to leave you alone.
Right.
Um,
Carry on. I don't mind. How many you come? I
I told you in the evenings it gets worse.
Carry
Would
on.
you ever go into the jungle?
Would ever go into the jungle? Do you know? I'm not sure about that because I don't like biting bugs and things like that. Because you've got to be so careful. I got sensitive skin, so you've got to be careful. So, not really. There's, I tell you, there comes some. Yeah, I suppose if you, I'd like to have a trip up the Amazon. I'd like to go to the Amazon jungle, but you've got to be careful with all the biters. You can get all sorts of problems. So I can't afford to risk that, can I? If that's your livelihood. But there you go.
Yeah, I've got somebody here says, I bet your wife would like to. I bet your wife would love to see you in the jungle for 6 weeks. You should get peace and quiet away from the banjo.
I think she'd like to see me in jungle for 3 months, I think. But but no, she's very supportive. But yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, like everything else, you've just got to live with it, haven't you? Because an entertainer, you've got to constantly do things.
Yeah. Okay. Keep safe. Okay.
Okay.
Just checking all these through. There's some more coming through. Hang on for a second. Right, Richard says, how long have you been married?
How long have we been married? 30 years. I was a bridegroom. 30 years. 30 years. And yeah, well, we're still together. So, and my wife actually comes round with me. She helps me. She drives when you've done a show, your adrenaline's quite high. So I drive sometime, but I usually like a little tipple after the show. Not much, a glass of wine, just to wind down. Then we're going to pack up all the stuff. I have all the equipment with me, car full of stuff. I like to get there early set up. I like to have my own microphone, everything sorted up, and all my props are out. Linda does all that for me. Helps pack it all away, and then we drive back. Yeah, and yeah, she comes with me. And now when we're doing the church, we're known as the Churchills. Clemmy Churchill's dressed him. She does a good job as well. And so it's very popular. It's different, known as the Churchills. There you go as well. So yeah, when I do my shows, I have a load of. She keeps her eye on my stuff, and you have to watch things now. You can't leave your car boot open these days, but you've got to watch. And when there's things are laid out on the stage, watch things, because people just want to come up and just talk to you very enough. But it's nice to be able to trust people, but unfortunately, we're not really living in an honest world like we used to do, are we?
No, we're not. No. There's some information here. Where can I get some CDs to?
We could send them either to yourself, or if you give the lady, we'll send them to you. I think we'll have to check with some with 2 postages, but there'll be the $6.50 each plus postage, but they're well worth it. And 20 pay by PayPal, yeah. PayPal. Yeah. You can sort that out after if you like, and or ring me. We'll get it. Yes, yeah, by all means. Fine.
Do you have any videos?
Films of what I'm doing.
Yeah,
we've got loads of them. Yeah, I've got a website. People can look at me on the website. Got the website. What's the website in the detail? George Formby Tribute.co.uk.
Actually, I've got it.
Yeah, you can access my 3 websites: the George Formby, Winston Churchill, and the Tommy Cooper one.
Yeah, Tommy Cooper one. Okay, can you play a last song, and we'll have to leave it there.
Right. Oh, we're not like another hour yet. No. When I started, I like Ken doesn't want to come off. Here we go. This is a little bit of leaning on the lamppost. Lean on the lamppost. All join in. I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh mine, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away. Anyhow, we know that she'll try. Oh me, oh mine, I hope the little lady goes ba-da-da-da-da-da-dee-bum-bum. There's no other girl I could wait for, but this one they break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. Everybody, she wouldn't leave me flat. She's not a girl like that. She's absolutely wonderful and marvelous and beautiful. Anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by. There you go.
There you go. Derek, thank you very much.
Oh, we're
You've been
not
a
finishing
star.
already, are we? We're finishing now, are we? Oh, my goodness. We're going for another hour. Everybody, I hope you've enjoyed it. Be safe, look after yourselves, and wear these funny things, right, when you go out. But it's very important you look after yourselves because we entertainers, we need you as an audience. If you're not there, we can't have a show. Remember that. Look after yourselves. Keep safe. Thank you for listening. I love you all.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Just stay there and I'll talk to you.
Okay.